Game number 3 of this 5-game road trip sees the Oilers stop here in Buffalo for a second half of a back-to-back as they take on a Sabres club that started off with a 5-1-1 record but are 0-4-1 in their last 5 games. The Oilers, of course, coming off a 5-3 victory where they erased 3 separate 1-goal deficits. Leon Draisaitl's 3-point night now has him lead the league in both goals and points. Cody Ceci picked up his first multi-point game as an Edmonton Oiler, and Mikko Koskinen recorded win number 8 on Thursday night. As for the Sabres, this is their second home game since October 25th. They get set to play 7 of their next 10 games here at KeyBank Center. Welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Burr. Thanks so much for making us a part of your morning. We're just going to be speaking to the head coach, Dave Tippett, in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Got 2 goaltenders here. I know you've got some confidence in Skinner. Is he going to get the call in between the pipes?
Yeah, Skinner will play tonight.
Second of a back-to-back. You're looking at maybe giving Benson a look?
We got a couple tweaks with some injuries we might make here. See how it goes.
Speaking of back-to-backs, since you've started coaching the team's 15-4 in the second of a back-to-back. So what do you think that's a reflection of?
No morning skate. I don't know. No, our guys are, they find a way to hunker down. Our motto is always try to find a way to win, and it doesn't matter if you play back-to-back or not. You got to give yourself a chance to win, and we've done a pretty good job of that. We try to make sure we maximize each guy in the lineup and find ways to win, and we've been fortunate that we've been able to do that.
Dave, you talked about playing desperate teams in the past. You're playing against a Sabres club that's looking for the first win in 6 games. They're starting 7 of 10 at home. You're playing the second half of back-to-back. What's the key element when playing against a desperate team like that?
Well, you got to make sure you don't beat yourself. You know, they're going to come and play. I've watched them play quite a bit. They're playing a fast game. They're going to come. They're going to try to take advantage of us from the back-to-back. So we got to come in here and play a solid road game. Find a way to win, just like we talk about all the time.
Is there a further update on Cassian or Smith? I know Smith went back yesterday.
Smith back. I haven't seen. Cass I haven't talked to yet today, but he's not available tonight.
They've come back to Stewart. How would you characterize his style of play as a goaltender, and what attributes he has that make him successful?
He's a big guy that is just solid, and you can tell his game has matured to the point where he looks like an NHL goalie. You know, young players, they come on. There's an evolution to their game where they're. And talking to goaltender coaches, they get too busy early. They're trying to, they don't let the game come to them. He's got himself to a point where he just settles down and he lets the game come to him. He's a big guy, plays angles well. He's a solid player, and he's got himself where he's confident that he can play in the league, and that shows when he plays now.
And 10-2 on the season now, one of the greatest starts in franchise history. I know you preach remaining balanced despite all the highs, all the lows. How do you stay even-keeled when it's going so well?
Yeah, just take it a game at a time. You know, we've found some ways to win games. It's we don't talk about the record. We don't look at it. We're just trying to improve every game. You get into a game, tough situations, whether it's maybe you don't have your legs that night, you're not as good as you want to be, that's still not an excuse for not winning. We got to try to find a way to win. And tonight's a back-to-back against a desperate team. You know, we got to have the mindset. We got to do whatever it takes to win. So the record is inconsequential. It's how we're playing that dictates our record.
Dave, I know you don't spend a lot of time really scouting Buffalo because we're out of the conference, but what are your impressions of what Don has done in a short time with a team that really doesn't have so-called stars? Yeah,
they look like a team that's playing with a lot of energy, and that's when I haven't dug into them real deep, but there's a renewed energy there. Seems like that they want to leave last season in the past, and they're trying to play fast and be competitive.
Dave, obviously, rightfully so, a lot of the conversations around your team has been about the special teams in terms of power play, penalty kill. But yesterday, you get 5 even strength goals. How much confidence does that instill at even strength for you guys?
Well, we've been able to find ways to win, and our power play has done it some nights, and some nights, I think there's a lot of emphasis put on our power play, especially from other teams when it's been as hot as it has. So you got to find other ways to win. And last night, you can say we got some breaks on their mistakes, but some of those breaks I think we created with our pressure. So I think we've got a balanced group. Like you say, the special teams get a lot of talk because of the high-end players, especially on the power play. But I like our balance throughout our lineup, and we got to keep finding ways to score. I'd like to get our goals against, continue to push that to get down a little bit. Last night, you look at the 3 goals. One is turnover, which we can take out of our game. The second one, to me, it shouldn't have been a goal because there was a penalty on it that should have been called. And the third one, I thought Koskinen should have had. So there's some areas of our game that we got to still continue to pound away at, but our team's done a pretty good job of trying to limit opportunities and find enough chances to score.
Thanks, Dave.